Everybody, welcome back to Keys of the Jet. I'm Red, and we're here with another video installment about a military weapon system, military vehicle, military culture, and anything else that we decided to put out about the military. Last videos we put out were a C-47 Skytrain, which is aircraft from World War II, the KC-10 Extender, which is a refuel aircraft that the Air Force uses, and we put out a video on the F-15 Eagle and all of its variants, which is an air superiority powerhouse that I personally got to work on while I was in the Air Force, and it was awesome. I loved it. Today we're going to do another video about an Air Force aircraft that I've never personally worked on, but it's basically an overgrown fighter with lots of bombs and lots of fuel, even though it's classified as a heavy. And I was a fighter guy who's only worked on fighter aircraft. It would have been cool to work on this one, just not at the bases that they're at, if that makes sense. But yeah, so hey, maybe I'll get my grubby little hands on it before I die at some point. But we'll see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned to the end, and then yeah, later.
Welcome back to Keys of the Jet podcast, the place where we dive into all things military and take a wild ride through the history, specs, and shenanigans of some of the most iconic machines ever to grace the skies. Today we're talking about the B-1 Lancer, affectionately known as the Bone. So buckle up because we're going supersonic. Now, if you were thinking this video was going to be about a Lancer as in a knight with a stick or some kind of sporty Mitsubishi sedan, you're in the wrong place. This bad boy is a heavy bomber with a serious attitude and a name that means business. Officially, it's the Rockwell B-1 Lancer. But when you're as big and as bad as this beast, people start calling you the Bone. And no, that's not because it's skinny. Let's rewind to the 1960s. America was feeling the heat of the Cold War, and our friends at the Pentagon were itching for a new supersonic bomber to replace the aging B-52 Stratofortress. Enter the B-1 program, a project that would end up costing a small fortune, take decades to get right, and give birth to one of the most versatile bombers in the U.S. arsenal. The first prototype, the B-1A, took to the skies in December 1974. It was sleek, fast, and totally ready to be the next big thing in strategic bombing. But like all good things, it came with a catch, or two. The B-1A was equipped with variable sweep wings, kind of like a mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. It could sweep its wings back for supersonic speed, or spread them wide for better low-speed handling. And it was fast. We're talking Mach 2.2, which is over 1,400 miles per hour. That's fast enough to get you from New York to LA in under 2 hours. If it didn't need to, bomb something along the way. But here's the thing. The B-1A never made it to production. It was like that one guy in your high school who had all the potential in the world but just couldn't get his act together. President Jimmy Carter, in his infinite wisdom, decided to cancel the program in 1977, citing its high cost and the rise of cruise missiles. The B-1A became the ultimate what could have been. Fast forward to the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had just rolled into the White House and he was all about flexing that American military muscle. So, the B-1 program got a second chance, but this time with a new twist. Enter the B-1B Lancer. The B-1B was the B-1A's more sensible, less flashy cousin. It traded in some of the Mach 2 speed for better low-level performance and increased survivability. Basically, it got thicker skin to handle the heat. And instead of a mere 4 prototypes like the B-1A, the B-1B went into full production, with 100 of these beauties rolling off the assembly line between 1983 and 1988. But let's talk about specs, because that's where things get juicy. The B-1B is 146 feet long, about the length of 50 yards of end zone glory, and it's got a wingspan of 137 feet, one fully extended. Under the hood, it's packing 4 General Electric F101 GE102 afterburning turbofan engines, each pushing out 30,000 pounds of thrust. Translation, this bomber doesn't just fly, it roared. And it's no lightweight either. Fully loaded, the B-1B weighs in at a whopping 477,000 pounds. To give you a sense of scale, that's like trying to fly a blue whale. Yet somehow, this big bird can reach speeds of Mach 1.25, which is about 950 miles per hour. Not bad for something that could double as a small apartment building. Now, what's a bomber without some serious firepower? The B-1B can carry up to 84 500-pound bombs, or 24 2,000-pound bombs internally. But if you're really looking to make an impression, it can also be outfitted with nuclear weapons, because sometimes you need to just make sure something really disappears. So what has the Bone been up to? Well, since entering service in 1986, the B-1B has seen action all over the world. It's been the go-to aircraft for everything from strategic bombing to close air support. It was a star performer in Operations Desert Fox, Allied Force, Enduring Freedom, and Iraqi Freedom, proving it's as versatile as it is deadly. And let's not forget the B-1B's adaptability. It's undergone a series of upgrades over the years, from avionics to its weapon systems, keeping it relevant well into the 21st century, and yes, is still out there, ready to drop some serious ordnance if needed. But all good things must come to an end. The B-1B is slated to retire around 2036, making way for the new kid on the block of the B-21 Raider. But don't be sad. The Bone has had one hell of a run, and it's not done yet. It's got a few more tricks up its sleeve before it heads back to that big hangar in the sky. The B-1B Lancer is like that action hero who refuses to quit, who takes one last mission before riding off into the sunset. And in true Keys to the Jet fashion, we can't help but tip our hats to this flying legend. It may have started with a rocky road, but the Bone has proven it's got the guts, the grit, and the glory to go down in history of one of the all-time greats. So there it is, the B-1 Lancer, the bomber that was almost too fast for its own good, found a redemption and went on to be a backbone of the United States Air Force for decades. Next time you hear a sonic boom in the distance, you'll know who to thank. Thanks for tuning in to Keys to the Jet podcast. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our next deep dive into the coolest, craziest, and most kick-ass machines in military history. Fly high, and we'll see you in the next one.
Man, that was a good video. I learned a bunch of stuff about the B-1 I didn't know. And those afterburner videos, man, that was pretty cool.
You know what, dude? Those airplanes are crazy, man. Especially with those four motors. I wouldn't want to be. Actually, it would be really cool to be on the trim pad, like underneath it, you know,
Yeah.
or even around it, because it'd be like, you know.
Yeah, and they're so tall. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, did you know, then this is what I learned while we were doing the video, is the same people that made the XB-70, you remember the XB-70 that we were talking about?
Yep.
It's the same company, just with the name changed, that made the Rockwell B-1.
That's pretty crazy. I wonder if they legal issues or why they switched the name there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'd have to delve into it, but it's crazy because if you look at the XB-70, and we could compare it at a later date, right? Where I can put up pictures of XB-70 to the B-1, and you're like, whoa, those look kind of similar. Where they took the XB-70 blueprints and then put it on some of the B-1. Yeah, it's crazy. I also added in the cannon blueprint that I told you about, that I was talking about on our last episode of Keys to the Jet podcast that we just put out last week.
Yeah, that would have been wild if they would have done that, because that would have, you can imagine it would have been a huge cannon.
Dude, that would be disastrous, bro. You've got a big fighter full of bombs, and then you're just gonna load like a big cannon on it too. Yeah,
right. Well, think about how big the 30 mil is on the A-10. And even the 20 mils, and it would be bigger than that. And those are huge rounds.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would have put like the 20 millimeter cannon that's on the F-16 and F-15. So that way it could be interchangeable, you know, when they need it or whatever, you know, so they don't have to make special rounds and all that other shit. But it would be crazy, dude.
For sure.
But yeah, so I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Thanks for staying to the end. To follow us, you can go on to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Rumble. We need subscribers. Go hit us up. Go hit up YouTube. We're looking for subscribers. Also, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Keys of the Jet podcast for $5 a month. You get early access to merch, possible discounts, content that we haven't put out yet, or exclusive content due for Patreon subscribers. And oh yeah, you also get some 3D printed, personalized, cool stuff for yourself, and a sweet ass t-shirt that we will be shipping out soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and go watch our other videos that we just put out not too long ago on the F-15, C-47 Skytrain, the KC-10. You can also find our podcast wherever podcasts are broadcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon.
I don't know. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Again, thanks for following, subscribing, and then we'll see you later. See ya.